Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you so very much for joining this Billion Happy Life Marathon. We are doing happy morning reading world scriptures to empower good vibe for all day. So let's get some inspiration reading the next chapter, Beyond the Law. Law defines the path to God, yet the ideal or divine life in many religions is to live beyond all boundaries. Therefore, as much as the law is teaches that liberates, it can also be fitted. Paul, for example, contrasts the Mosaic law, which educates but confines, with the liberating grace available through Jesus Christ. Fulfilling the obligation of the law cannot save because they do not touch the deepest prompting of the mind, which are still engulfed in the endless conflict between good and evil. Laws, therefore, are at the best provisional value, a concession to sin. Moreover, in situations where earthly laws are fragmented or abused, the conscience guides us to follow the higher law. Beyond the law lies a higher relationship with the absolute, where a person is free to do what he or she likes, confident that the prompting of the conscience are always in agreement with God's requires. However, life in the spirit should not be misconstructed as a license to sin. Even in a state of complete freedom, there are still heavenly standards and principles. All the same, a truly enlightened person is one with those principles and hence does not feel constrained by them. I will put my law with them, and I will write it upon their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And no longer shall each man teach his neighbor and each his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me from the least of them to the greatest. Jeremiah 31, 33, 34. One who is rich in the alignment will not indulge in any sinful action, since his conscience is guided by the intellect fully illuminated with truth. Akaragasutra Sutra 134, Jainism. No one born of God commits sin, for God's nature abides in him, and he cannot sin because he is born of God. 1 John 3:9. Now we know that wherever the law says, it speaks to those who are under the law, so that every mouth may be stopped, and the whole world may be held accordable to God. For to human beings will be justified in his sight by work of the law, since through the law comes knowledge of sin. But now the righteousness of God has been manifested apart from the law, although the law and the prophets bear witness to it, the righteousness of God through Jesus Christ for all who believe. While we were living in the flesh, our sinful passions aroused by the law are at work in our members to bear fruit for death. But Now we are discharged them discharged from the law, debt to that which held us captured. So that we serve not under the old written code, but in the new life of the Spirit. Romans 3, 19, 22, 7.56. The man of superior virtue is not conscious of his virtue, and in this way he really possesses virtue. The man of interior virtue never loses sight of his virtue, and in this way he loses his virtue. Therefore, only when power is lost does the doctrine of virtue arise. When virtue is lost, only then does the doctrine of human arise. When humanity is lost, only then does the doctrine of righteousness arise. When righteousness is lost, only then arises rule of property. Now, property is a superficial expression of loyalty and faithfulness, and the beginning of disorder. Tower Techin 38,000 people under delusion accumulate traded merits but do not tread the path. They are under the impression that to accumulate merit and to tread the path are one and the same thing. Through their merit for almsgiving and offering are infinite. They do not realize that the ultimate source of sin lies in the preposition within their own mind. Sutra Hyu Heng 6 Buddhist. Finite and transparent are the fruits of sacrificial rites. The deluded who regard them as the highest good remain subject to birth and death, considering religions to be observance of rituals and performance of acts of charity, the deluded remain ignorant of the highest good, having enjoyed in heaven and the reward of their good works. They enter again into the world of mortals. But the wise, self-controlled, and tranquil soul who are content in spirit and who practice austerity and meditation in the solitude and silence are free from all impurity and attain by the path of liberation to the more immortal, the truly existing, the changeless self. Mandaka Upanishad 1 to 7, 11 Hinduism. So, Buddhi, if you should conceive the idea that anyone in whom dawns the consummation of incomparable enlightenment declares that all manifest standards are ended and extinguished, do not contain such thoughts. Diamond Sutra 27 Buddhist. All things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be enslaved by anything. The body is not meant for immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. 1 Corinthians 6, 12, 14. And now let's read the second coming Messiah teaching of Samuel Moon. True love transcends the law. True love has such a privilege. Since we know this, we should practice it. If we do, then we will enjoy the unlimited freedom of Kingdom of Heaven. 116 249 January 1, 1982. When the mind and body became one, the universe is like putty in our hands. Putty in our hands. Since we became a microcosm of the universe, we can understand everything. We will not need anyone to teach us. No one will need to teach us how to live or lay out rules of ethics and morality. Do not do the sparrows and the animals need the lessons of immorality. Animals know how to protect themselves and physiologically group themselves in their own species. Why are human beings, the Lord of creation, so ignorant in this regard? It is because of the human fall. Because of the fall, struggle and conflict came into existence. Moral laws spring from the mind. Those who live with a good mindset and do not suffer from a guilty conscience have no fear in anything. Even if they are dragged before the cruelest tyrann, they can stand tall before him. Goodness is something the universe protects and raises. It holds freedom and peace within it, accompanied by life and authority. There is nothing in heaven and earth that can subjugate goodness. When we are good, we are not afraid of anyone, even the president of a nation. No matter what laws are applied against us, we are not influenced. That is why secular law cannot reach that standard of the conscience. Therefore, worldly laws cannot intrude upon the authority of goodness. Can you find anywhere in the world a constitutional law code that would condemn someone who sacrificed himself in service for others? Would the court of law convict him, declaring him a criminal? No. If such a law existed, it would be denounced as a bad law. Rather, the nation's president would recognize and honor him. As Unification Church member, you may say, I do not have any boundaries. I do not have to guard myself from anything. I am really free. But this is not so. In our way of life, there are certain boundaries and arise. We are not allowed to cross, for example, the line of the fall. If the cross that line, inevitably our internal nature and status is changed and we are transferred to a different owner from God to Satan. God does everything according to a rule. In the natural science, people solve the mysteries of the universe using the formulas of mathematics. Since that is so, wouldn't there be a formula in the world of love where there are no formulas? There would be no way to govern the people streaming into the kingdom from every corner of the world. Yes, brothers and sisters, thank you very much. And now let's read a little bit from my book, God's Global Trends, and the chapter of God's Love. As we briefly discussed it, the human perfection is not perfection of just an external skill, but a perfection of internal self through being perfect in love, true love. True love is everywhere. God's absolute true love does not instill in desire to have one's partner exist for one's own sake, and its essence is giving, living for the sake of others and for the sake of the whole. Perfection is a perfection in love, and the original source of love is God. So without God, perfection is impossible. A life lived for the sake of others, a life of true love, is the absolute precondition for entering the ideal world. This is the new way of life in a family where its members live peacefully, centering on God. And this is the ideal model of peace for all creation. In our life, we as humans grow our hearts through four stages of love. First, we are born as a baby, growing up as children and receiving love from our parents. By this, we are developing children's heart. Then, second stage is growing as children. We start to socialize with brothers and sisters, also building friendship, relationship with other children, thus developing siblings heart. The next level is marriage and growing love as a husband and wife. Final fourth level is in our families as we give birth to our children. We are developing in our love. This is the father and mother's heart. From this, we can draw a very important conclusion that there aren't any other type of love in human life naturally. Humans are growing in families, and in ideal families, God is the subject partner of conscience, acting vertically and following God as vertical subject partner. Mind stand in the position of the vertical subject partner of the body, bringing mind and body into unity. That is where parental love, children love, and siblings love. In short, the four realms of love, four realms of heart, are perfected. Yes, this is brothers and sisters, the message for today. Please do as is wrote in the scripture. Be in this state of meditation as we discuss with ourselves 90% of the time during the day. Please be in this meditation state that you are in the kingdom of heaven, and as is wrote in the Bible, seek first the kingdom of heaven. So kingdom of heaven is by law of love, true love. And let's do this and find this formula, divine principle formula in our life. And as we will be guided by this, the people will stream into the kingdom from every corner of the world. So let's stream this, run to the kingdom of heaven every day, every second with God's guidance. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please like it, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends. Just join with this happy life, billion likes happy life marathon. Wish you a great day today, and contact me anytime for cooperation. Stay happy, healthy, and don't forget to make morning exercise. All the best. Bye bye.